Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that your country has become the most powerful nation on earth. But America was not always a superpower. Once it was just a young nation struggling to survive. In the 1700s, 13 British colonies existed along the eastern coast of North America. Then Britain demanded more taxes, and the colonists began asking a dangerous question: why should they pay without having a voice? Tensions exploded, and in 1775 the American Revolution began. The Americans were inexperienced, but they had a leader who understood one important thing: they had to survive. Then France entered the war, bringing money, weapons, and military support to the American cause. In 1781, British forces surrendered at Yorktown, and a new nation had been born. But winning independence was only the beginning. America still had to prove that it could survive. In 1787, America's leaders created a constitution designed to build a stronger and more stable government. George Washington became the first president, guiding the fragile new republic through its earliest years. But America's greatest advantage may have been its geography. Oceans protected it from many of the world's great powers. As the country expanded westward, farms, towns, and new cities began connecting an enormous continent. But America's growth came with a terrible contradiction. Slavery was expanding alongside the young nation. By 1861, the country was so divided that Americans went to war against Americans. President Abraham Lincoln faced the greatest crisis in American history and fought to preserve the Union. In 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, turning the fight against slavery into a central purpose of the war. In 1865, the Confederacy collapsed, slavery was abolished, and the Union survived. Now America was politically stronger, and its industrial transformation was about to begin. Railroads stretched across the continent, connecting distant cities, factories, farms, and markets. Steel, oil, electricity, and mass production transformed America into an industrial powerhouse. Then Henry Ford's assembly line showed the world how quickly modern industry could produce millions of products. Then Europe exploded into World War I, and America entered the conflict in 1917. America's factories produced weapons, food, vehicles, and supplies on a massive scale. But after the war came disaster. In 1929, America's economy collapsed into the Great Depression. Then in 1939, another world war began, and America would soon be pulled into it. On December 7, 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, changing America's history forever. America transformed its entire economy into a massive war machine almost overnight. When World War II ended in 1945, Europe and Asia were devastated, but America emerged stronger than ever. Then America helped create a new global financial system, placing the US dollar at the center of world trade. The dollar became more than American money. It became one of the foundations of the global economy. But America now faced a powerful rival, the Soviet Union, beginning a decades-long Cold War. The rivalry moved into space, where both nations competed to prove who had the technology of the future. In 1969, America landed humans on the moon, turning technological ambition into history. Then in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, leaving America as the world's dominant superpower. But America's next great advantage would not come from factories. It would come from computers and the internet. Silicon Valley became a symbol of innovation, producing technology that would reshape life around the world. America's power was now everywhere, in technology, entertainment, business, finance, and culture. But every superpower eventually faces a new question: how long can it remain on top? America's story is still being written, and history is waiting to see what happens next.